Right now is social time and game time and podcast time, no phone time.
Yeah, podcast time.
I'm searching for something that may make this podcast more easier if we could buy it.
Sure.
This is Zach's podcast, by the way. It won't make any other podcasting.
Yeah, no, we're just running this one. We're running this one live. Speaking of running it live, this is the Immaterial Gamers podcast. See, I said it now. It means it's official. It is definitely official. This is an odd one this week. I'm speaking to my friends to a microphone in the middle of what's described as an anti-cafe.
A cafe beyond time?
Yeah, a cafe that serves you in time rather than in drinks and coffees, because you just get them free. It's a place called Zifferblad. It's on Edge Street. It's in the northern quarter of Manchester, so I'm not in South Manchester near the airport like I normally would be.
We finally let him out.
I've finally escaped.
Escaped? We let you out.
Yeah, whatever. You haven't let me out at all. I'm on day release effectively from the mines.
That's what I mean by let you out.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit more of a distracted podcast. It's not going to be as structured, because we're sat here, we're in this cafe, we've discussed some website stuff, and we're currently playing a card board game called Splendor. Nothing to do with Slender Man. Yeah, I'm playing it with the usual suspects. I've got well, it's Ryan.
Is it?
I'm Ryan. But I'm waving to a microphone in the middle of a cafe full of people. How is this even working? All right, and I've got Stefan.
Yo.
And I've got Darius.
Hello everyone.
And I've just took my turn on Splendor, so it's now Steph's turn. So while we've got that going...
Oh, we're going that way round. Oh, wait,
that's how clockwise works.
I didn't even know we had a clock.
Well, we're on a circular table.
Doesn't mean I know we have clocks.
There's a clock behind you as well.
That's behind me. I cannot see behind me.
Yeah, well,
I am done.
I can see behind you now. So...
Got about 60 quid.
No.
I can get it delivered tomorrow.
Why do you need 60 quid? Lapel microphones. Okay.
Let's focus more on the podcast, not what we are buying.
Yeah, okay.
This is to help us in the future.
Yeah, well,
hopefully.
The future. That's one thing, but now we're currently in the present, so...
I like to think ahead.
Oh, that's good.
I also like to cause mayhem and destruction everywhere I go, but that's nothing to be
Why
proud of.
Pick up all of the same ones? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You tell me. You make the mistake.
I love this. I
I
can
made a
pat
mistake.
people on the head.
So while you're thinking of that mistake, is there anything that you've been playing this week that's a bit different to normal?
I've been playing kind of brand new game from Rockstar.
Oh, is it?
Oh, you've been playing Red Dead.
Is it?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
I know. We stopped Stephen last week from talking about Red Dead. Well,
No,
he
we
didn't even
stopped
get
him
a
from
chance
playing.
from playing it because he ended up doing the podcast instead. So how is Space Cowboy Simulator? I mean, just
It's
Red
a
Dead.
60 hours
You
gameplay.
mean Grand Theft Auto 5 Simulator? Because
In it, GTA in the past.
literally that's how it feels like. You're playing GTA.
How big's the map compared to GTA?
Not sure because I just done like 6 hours on it.
So do you still think you can get times that by 10?
Yeah.
Because there is news reports saying it could Red Dead Redemption's, all of it could be about 60 hours long. Do you think you could play that game for 6 hours?
Well, I've played so for 6 hours.
Did you play the first one?
I've never played the
This
first
is why I
one.
never shut you off your horse like I did to everyone else.
Yes. I'm
remember
not
that
sure
one.
how map is big because it's rain now. I've got how do you call it, a fog around it. So I kind of have like general idea of how big is it.
What area are you starting? So for people who just want to find this out when you play, I just want to know if you start in the old
In
map
mountains.
or the beginning. So that don't help. You don't even know what region the mountains are in. You're terrible.
I didn't pay attention that much to where I am. I was paying attention more to the characters and the same mechanics for aiming as you have in GTA.
But You go down your sights, your gun automatically sticks onto someone.
Yeah, auto aim.
Yeah.
But it's not the issue. It's not the issue. The issue is animations. The whole mechanics is literally just copy and paste from Grand Theft Auto. Even the map system is copy and paste from Grand Theft Auto, in my opinion.
Is it all copied from Red Dead Redemption 1?
No. Well,
You've never played number 1, so how do you know this?
but I've played GTA 5.
And?
Well, that works then. So based on what you're saying about GTA 5,
Yeah.
it's using the same engine and basically
The same
everything that-
engine, yes. They just kind of obviously few years passed, so they crank on the graphics,
Yeah.
etc. But they could be more creative. That's my main issue from the start. They could be more creative on how the map works. Okay, because you are in what 15th century in USA.
We've actually, it's 1890s, isn't
Should I
it?
look
this
Like
up?
near,
So it's
near,
18
near the suffragettes period.
Right, so it's
which is
8
what
right.
that's-
Yeah.
I'll look this
So
up to
anyway,
make sure.
You, for example, you could have like limited access to the map, so you don't know where every building is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can, so for example, you could give like a cartographer skill to your character, which when you go to the city more than twice, you start making, a small squares where the things are. You know what I mean? Not you visit just literally edge of the city and you know every single building.
1899 is when the game is based.
There we go then. So just at the turn of the 20th century.
Yeah, but still, the maps are limited in that time, isn't it? Not as much as I thought in the beginning, but still,
Yeah.
you get my idea. So you should have like kind of general map where the cities are, but not in details.
See, in the first Red Dead Redemption, the map, you had towns, cities, any forts, anything like that in it, but if it was like a made camp or something like that, you won't see that on the map. You may have a mark on it where you've stamped it, and I think you do get that after you've been there yourself. I really need to play 1 again if this is not the case.
Yeah.
But they only had structures that were there permanently
Yeah,
on your map. Nothing else would show up. So if you, it's like the old mining site was on the map because it's an old mining site. It was abandoned in the game, I believe.
yeah, I know what you
Used
mean.
as like den of thieves.
Yeah.
Oh, Margo.
Yes.
Yes, you see how it goes.
I'm sorry, ladies.
Yeah,
No,
but
no, I
then-
didn't want to stop the conversation. So
But yeah, going back to the actual game, feels good. I mean, story feels good. There's loads of things going on.
How good does it feel?
I don't even know how.
What's the main character called in this one?
well, this is it's still the
I
main
think
character
that's
from the
the-
first one.
Yes,
No, because the main character in the first one died.
yes,
but
but
this
this
is
is
a
a
prequel.
prequel.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this is when he first gets arrested, because in number 2, it's when he first gets released. I mean, number 1 is
Number
when he
one.
gets released.
might
So I'm
be
assuming
space.
at the end of this, you're getting arrested.
You might have to.
Yeah, if I remember right, it's the events that are leading up to him entering Backwards Town from Red Dead 1.
Yeah.
So it sort of explains how he gets there, but then
Well,
also features some of the characters.
I start in the blizzard, not knowing what's going on. People were scattered. I mean, my gang was scattered around.
This is set 12 years before the first one.
There we go.
Right? Can I just carry on the my
So you were in a blizzard.
piss, or you will keep interrupting me, Steph?
Oh no, I'm doing research at the same time. I've not really looked into number 2 that much, but it's 11 years between the gap between
I'm
2 and
paying
1.
1 blue, 2 whites
I know. we're getting
One
that.
blue, two white. Grab that one.
to grab that one. So you start in the blizzard. You don't really know what's going on, but roughly an hour later, you're running from something. Some law enforcement are pursuing you and your gang.
What did you rob?
That's the thing. You don't know until later on in the game, which I don't want to give too much spoilers. But apparently they had the money, and they had like a stupid idea to let's go on one more heist.
I know what number one's all set about.
Oh,
I know what number two's set all about.
It's always about the heist that goes wrong.
Because number one is you digging up the money that you buried with your crew.
Yes.
So this is going to be all about how you stole that money to bury it to then
Well,
get
it's already
caught.
buried. The money's already buried.
So it's kind of playing a Fargo thing of just like,
As far
a
as
whole
I
load
know,
of
the
stuff
money
happens.
is already buried. I was on the ship. My crew kind of rescued me. And we basically running, trying to set up a new camp for and start new life. With revenge and going back to the Blackwater for our treasure.
Thank you, Ryan. I'll have the
So how is it actually working for you at the moment then? It's like, are you actually enjoying it?
Yes, to the point. Well, definitely the story so far. I want
If
to.
you like this, you need to play number one.
I want to kind of already have like two characters which I want to know, side characters which I want to know what's going on with them.
Yeah.
Because they seem like kind of interesting. I don't care about the rest of them. They didn't give me like within that tutorial phase, let's call it, for the first 3-4 hours. Much of our time to get to know the others. Even though one of these characters was shown to me briefly, it had much more into that than another.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking about my next move. So yeah, that was
You can't multitask with bugger.
no well to the extent I can.
He's getting there.
But yeah, riding the horse feels okay. But you have, as I said, the mechanics from Grand Theft Auto. So it's like if you run into the wall.
When you steal a horse, does its side open up and you get him?
What?
It's kind of the same mechanics.
The
on
other
Switch.
mechanics.
No, I mean like literally even the problems with Grand Theft Auto, for example, when you're riding a bike. If you hit a small rock and you flip, you're
Don't
doing
that happen on the horse?
you're doing the same with the horse.
Can you self-right the horse?
Yeah, no, there's an actual video of some guy who he tames a new horse in the mountain because the best horse you can get for free is in the mountain. It's like a sort of white, pure white,
Yeah.
and this guy gets it and he puts his saddle on it, but your other horse that you first tamed still follows you. So as he's running down this mountain, you see his horse go flying like a meta doing cartwheels down the freaking mountain.
Oh man.
So that's what I mean. It's like literally copy and paste from Grand Theft Auto because
Yeah.
they have the same problems
It's
with
the same,
GTA.
same features. The character could endlessly roll down a hill and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
just going to use the same sort of stuff. It's just given a cowboy coat of paint.
Also, they could do is
about
break
that.
down more like crafting contribution system to the camp.
Yeah.
Because right now it's like kind of all at once. Everything is, you can do everything at once, and I'm not sure what I'm doing with all this stuff and what kind of benefits they are.
So it's a bit overwhelming and
Yes, at the
So
moment.
is this why I've not had you on Rainbow Six this week?
Sorry.
Is this why I've not had you on Rainbow Six this week?
No, not really. Not necessarily because I was working literally last night 12 hours. So
I'm blaming this on no games with me.
fair enough. Alright,
I'm feeling lonely now.
But
Go,
yes,
by the way.
so far it's nice games. It's a good game. Well, it's a nice game. I'm not gonna say it's a good game yet. It's definitely what I'm gonna try to explore more by the end of the next week.
okay.
So I can tell you more about it.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of on the first hour when the whole world is open to me.
And then
Is the whole map open straight away?
No.
Or do you unlock it like you did
No,
in the first one? 'Cause in
the
the
first one, you're
you
starting
had-
in the, as I said, during the tutorial phase, in the mountains, in the blizzards.
so
Because on the
gonna
first
be,
one, you started on the. I believe you started on the way on the other side of the map. And
You are
'cause
in the
get
center.
You get off the boat to begin with. Going, I finally returned because you've finally been released from prison or whatever. Come back. A few people know who you are from the main city, but no one else tends to know who you are. But the only people who know who you are people who have been like marshals and stuff like that. But and I think there's some of your old crew still hanging around in it, if I remember correctly.
Well, it's not old crew, it's your crew, literally.
In number 2, it's your old crew.
No,
Because
in
you don't have a
number,
crew.
no, in
number 1, you didn't have a crew.
Exactly.
So that's the problem. This is the thing. This is the thing of naming something the second game, but setting it before the events of the first game.
Wait, aren't they just doing a Star Wars?
Oh, don't start
know.
with the Star Wars. However, the Star Wars are kind of in order.
Yeah, but the next Red Dead Redemption game we're getting is his son.
Then the numbers are correct.
But at least their
isn't it?
numbering conventions were correct. Yeah, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace may have been the 4th film, but it was
But it's the
episode
first.
1.
Yeah, it was
Is
called
it really the
episode
4th film?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was the
yeah, it was the 4th film released, but it's the first film chronologically.
No, I was thinking if you actually put them in order.
Well, the first one in order.
Number 4 isn't
before-
technically number 4 because of
Would
the
be
Rogue
Solo.
One.
No, because it was just called Star Wars at the time.
Yeah.
And take into account the Star Wars stories, then they're separate from in
Well,
terms of how they work.
enough
But anyway,
of-
that's congratulations. Let's get back on the station.
Hey, I like to sidetrack.
Yeah.
I like to go on that track.
So, yeah, sidetracking.
I want to know, is he taking his go? Or has he already done it? What's happening?
Yeah, whose go is it?
Well, it was mine.
So you
got
took them.
So it's
And
my go.
then tapped him to make sure he goes.
Okay, so
There we
it's
go.
my-
That's why we don't normally multitask. So
Because Darius doesn't understand what he's doing.
he does understand what he's doing.
He's
I
not
do
part,
understand what I'm doing, but I
he's part woman.
can't split.
How many have you got?
Oh shit, I forgot about that
You
rule.
got 9, you're fine.
I forgot about that rule.
Oh,
Can't
you
have more than
can't.
10.
You
Right.
can
If
have
you've got
up
more
to
than 10, you have to give some back at the end.
Right. Okay. Right. So what have you been playing?
Warframe,
Yeah, boy.
because of the new expansion that's come out.
Yeah. Fortuna
Fortuna.
favours the brave.
You really need to get back into it. Why did you drop out?
Alright,
of it?
give me one more day during the week and I will.
You're not saying get back into it instantly. I mean, like, just play every now and then.
Well, every now and then I'm playing Rainbow Six. And surprisingly, I've got 70 hours on it.
Jesus.
You're saying that, Jesus?
Yeah. Well,
I
no.
dread
Compared
to see what me and Duncan have done.
for Siege. Yeah. Well.
For the amount of time that I've played other games. God, I've played one game over 1,000 hours. I believe. I think that's like Ark or something.
A bit much.
Oh yeah.
So how is?
Seeing that I can't collect 3 gems, I'm assuming I can just take 2.
Yes,
No,
you
yeah.
can just
Right. That's where reservations might actually have to happen at some point, or a purchase.
He's purchasing the white. Because he's par with white.
Yeah.
Oh right, probably already know that, but those contribute to the total of gems.
Right, but they don't disappear though.
No,
No,
that's your constant income.
Right. Okay.
Basically, this is what you're lending.
Yeah.
That is your constant income.
Sweet.
So basically, you own a mine that
So
gives
now you
red
own
gems.
three
red.
three red ones.
But I
This-
permanently own one red.
This is why I took these 2, because now I have 3 black.
I think that's the main rule which we didn't tell you.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool. That's
We like to play games and not tell everyone in the rules. It gives us this benefit of the doubt of them might be smart enough to know.
it just messes
That's
with
what I've done too, isn't it?
messes with people's heads. That's
Oh no, there's times where you've not told me the rule until you've done it, and then when I'm actually reading it in more detail, it's like, no, you can't do that technically, because this hasn't done.
Yeah, well, that was.
Lying, cheating, scum.
Fair enough.
You can't take 2 of one, so you have to take
so I'd
one.
have to take one of each, and then that'd be it. So yeah,
How many
Fortuna.
have you got in total? So
3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
10
9,
now.
10. So you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to hand these in.
Okay.
And the blue.
Yep. So yeah, Fortuna. Is there tuna?
If there is, it's robotic.
Yeah. I know that. It was just something to try and get us back.
Does
on.
it smell?
No, it's
no,
robotic.
you get scrap from it.
Yeah.
You get scrap. You get nuts and bolts.
Yeah, so where they had the other expansion, which was Plains of Eidolon, where you gutted fish because they're robot fish, you scrap fish
You still gut them in technical terms. You're just gutting them for their.
for scrap rather than.
Oh,
they're
there
metal.
is fishing in Red Dead Redemption 2. You can go fishing.
Sweet, there is fishing in all the games so far.
Is there also like trank animals and take them home with you?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. It's more like hound them, kill them, and bring them home.
Oh, you see,
so you can eat.
Yeah, we don't eat them. We bring them back. So that means we can trade them in for. Actually, when you trade them in, they're stuffed. So I'm assuming we're taxiderming animals.
Is it my go?
Okay, yeah, it is your go. Yeah. So, yeah, we're on. So, what planet are we on now then, Steph?
Venus,
Yes.
I believe, from
Yep.
Earth to Venus. In other words, this is the way we are going to conquer this universe. Well, not this universe, this galaxy. We're not going to Mars. We're going to universe. We're going to Venus next.
Venus.
Scrap Mars. We don't need it. It's too far. Wait, isn't Mars closer than Venus? Why is this happening?
I don't know.
Why is Mars... Actually, is Mars next to Earth?
Are you based on Earth or somewhere else?
Well, the
It's
beginning
based in
of
the
it,
solar system, isn't it? Where
No,
Earth has been taken over by a faction of.
when we first started, you were basically started on the Earth? Yeah, you're part
Yeah,
of
so
Earth.
you're on Earth. Or Mercury.
Yeah, you were on Mercury.
Yeah.
No, where did we get awakened? It was Earth.
In the
we got-
new storyline, you get awakened on Mercury.
I thought in the new storyline it's Earth.
It starts somewhere in the solar system. I think, yeah, it's
confusing
Murph.
the-
It's Murph.
I like Murph.
Yeah, we start on Murph.
Murph's friendly.
Yeah. But, yeah. Warframe, game about space ninjas
And
for hire.
Murph.
And on Murph.
Do you
Yeah,
like
but when
Murph?
you don't go to Murph, you move to Vencury.
But no, your starting planet now is Earth.
Yeah.
Because when we first started, it was Mercury, Venus. Yeah, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. What was after Mars? Because there was a more of a connection when we first started than there is now. Because now you have to kind of travel
Now
the
there's an
system.
actual solar system.
Yeah.
It used to be, it was like stuff. You'd end up from Mars and you'd end up at Pluto. The general like map of Warframe changed so much now that it's not,
It's not common.
sort of what it is now. So.
We need to add planets to it, though. We need more things, even if it's just like another alien race coming from another galaxy. They need something. I know they were making these big open worlds that we can now visit, but I want a new enemy. They made the Sentinels from the moon.
I mean, the
Basically the
story
ancients.
is the big sentient threat now, though.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing.
Well,
It's like
is
there
it
was stuff that
because-
was held away. The Oricans weren't as good as they were made out to be. The Sentients are worse than they were made out to be. And the Corpus and Grineer are just smaller pieces of a bigger game.
And at the beginning, they were the main.
Yeah, they were the main threats. But that's...
Well,
I mean, this is
yeah,
the thing
think
of the
of what they're
development
doing
cycle. We're experiencing the story as they're developing it. It's only recently that they've actually added a main story. When I first started Warframe, it was just you were a ninja
You completely
hiring out
each
contracts to
mission on a
take out
planet
Grineer
and
and
then
invested and thingy. And there was no
Was he
storyline.
invested in the first?
Yeah,
That's where I started as well.
yeah.
No, when you first started, there was an actual story because I got you into it. Yeah, there was. You just never got into it.
Maybe.
But they've only done the cinematic quests recently, and it's better for it now. So I'm just still.
By the way, we
Sorting
are up
out
to
one
25 minutes, and
Yeah.
I believe it should go there.
Yeah. That's all I can really do.
Snap, snap, and snap.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, how is Fortuna for you at the moment then? Because
I'm going to reserve, by the way.
okay.
And go away and don't call me a bastard. At
Stop
the
swearing
minute,
on the podcast.
you're the one who said it first.
But I didn't swear it so they people can hear.
Stop crying. At the minute, Fortuna is very cold. I like every time I leave, my Warframe's is covered in ice. At the minute, I'm playing Chroma, and I have made him an ice elemental. So he's pretty cold-blooded.
Yeah. So, but yeah, skateboards.
Oh yes, the hoverboards.
Yeah.
At least,
Yes, they now have hoverboards.
We can use them on the planes, by the way.
Oh, that's
I have
awesome.
and you can do stunts on the planes and that stuff, and you still get rep towards it.
Yeah.
I just wish we could use it in a normal story mission. Instead of, do you imagine if they actually did that on other planets? Instead of Ark, that you had Bard missions, where it's basically you have to outrun the land craft of the Corpus and Grineer, or you see a runner just running beside you as a infested.
Sweet. Are you enjoying it? Is the big question.
At this current moment, I'm not really sure what I'm doing on it, because there's things that I want to do and I'm not sure how to do it. I need to look into it a bit more.
Well, then.
But at the moment, yes, the new mining mechanic they've put on it I think is a lot better. I need to see if they've changed. I don't know if they've changed Earth's mechanic yet for mining.
No, the mechanic. I think the mechanics.
Because I have an old miner, and mine still does the new mechanics on the new planet. So I'm not having an issue with it. I don't need to pay for that. So I do think they are slowly. I do think some of the mechanics on the planes have changed.
Probably to update them as opposed to sort of what they were, because it was again, everything that Digital Extreme seems to do with Warframe is an iterative project. They bring out a base mechanic, and then they will expand on that based on feedback from players.
I think the new mining mechanic is so much better than the draw around a circle.
Yeah, in a game where
I don't know what you're going to say.
In a game where you had to be very speedy, it was a twitch shooter in a sense.
Yeah.
Then having to slow that down to be highly accurate to trace out a weird shape, sort of broke the gameplay a bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see where you're coming from in
The new mining
how that
mechanic
works.
is so much better.
Oh yeah.
I do wish though, with the new mining equipment, they did have a tracking version like they did on Earth. Because I am still using the Earth one because it has the tracker. I don't know if I can't get certain gems because of it, but I do prefer the tracking system I have.
Yeah.
Not supposed to be upside down.
Oop.
I'm not using it anyway. It should still be recorded.
Yeah,
it's
Still
Just
good.
the screen. Just the
Yeah,
screen.
it's alright. Screen died. Yeah. So
sleepy.
overall, you want more out. You still want more out of Warframe.
I think they can get so much more.
Yeah, the game has the
Because
potential.
I do think as the the Sentinels and that are now being the main threat.
Sentients are now the main
Yeah.
threat of the game.
I think you'll probably find out they're from another universe, and we may end up having the ability to go to other universe sooner or later.
Yeah.
It's the only way it can expand the world we've got, unless they're gonna do open world on every planet, which I think after a bit it's gonna become, especially with some of the races. Unless we start getting because which planets mixed culture?
No, that's the problem. There isn't really mixed culture anymore because either anything's been taken over by the Corpus or by
but
the
isn't there
Grineer, and
one
then
where-
anything that's not
Even infested.
is contested or infested.
But it'd be nice if we had a planet which was contested a lot, where you had the carpet, which we know now that are good. It's my turn. What are you doing?
Black one.
Yeah. Come on.
No problem.
It was black.
Pick up your poop.
Yeah. So yeah. Something more contested in order to do that.
Yeah, I'd love to see the mixture of the Grineer that we've met who are helping us on the plains with the Corpus that's helping us in for two.
I guess that's sort of
Because if you now go to the plains, you do see one of their people there with a market stall,
yeah.
but you don't see anyone from the plains on Venus.
Well, that's the thing that we've also got to take out as well, aren't they? They may have been Corpus allied and Grineer allied, but they're different races entirely, aren't
Yes,
they, at that point?
they're
So there's
completely
the Solaris,
different
which are sort of human-robot hybrids,
Yes.
due to repossession of limbs, which is an odd thing to say.
I'm gonna get rid of that.
And then
that.
yeah, there's
Can you
the
use this for black?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
That means I can get the red.
but yeah, fair enough.
We
What
are
we will
over
do,
half an hour.
we're just going to take a break in this part of the podcast, and then when we come back, we'll talk my game and
News?
news. So we'll do that.
See you in a bit.
Let's go because I'm in the toilet. That's cool. You downfolded yourself and welcome back.
Yeah. So
I was just trying to make the point, isn't
No, I'm
it?
saying welcome back to the podcast. I just realised you're recording again.
yeah. So we're back, and we're basically talking about my game now, which is Splendor. No.
Well, we can do a bit.
Yeah. No.
Splendor is a game where you try conning each other out of gems.
Like I
Wait, that's just me.
promised. I promised last week. I said I was going to buy Tetris Effect and play it, and so I have bought Tetris Effect, and I'm playing it. So
He's betrayed us all. He's kidnapped.
what's your count?
He's kidnapped all the children.
14. Yes. Well, in that case.
So yes, everyone, I'm very close to win. However, I'm not sure if I will be able to.
Yeah, I don't think this doesn't work out for me either, but I can at least get a noble. So I'm gonna.
Yeah. Go for it. How many points have you got?
13.
13.
Yeah, he needed 5 to.
Yeah, I need
Come
5 to win, so.
I've only got
However,
8, so
you know, first,
you're lying,
who
that is
started
not
the game?
true.
I started the
You
game.
started the game.
Oh, of course, yeah, we got
it
one
has
extra
to-
turn after.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you, for example, get the 15 points, it's just on Stefan.
Yeah.
If I get the 15 points, it's both of you.
And then if Stefan gets it, then chances are then he wins then, doesn't he?
Then he kind of wins, yes.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I've only got 8 points. I'd like to point that out.
Yeah. So I've been playing.
I don't focus on points. I just focus on buggery.
So I've just been playing Tetris. just Tetris.
It's just literally just a Tetris.
Well, no, it's
No,
Tetris. It's Tetris by the guy who made Rez.
Isn't it like a beat?
The music, BE. It's like the shootery game with the wireframe dudes, and it had the really big pulsy club beat in the back of it,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know which one.
and
yeah.
Child of Eden and stuff like that. So
Yeah. No,
yeah, so it's
about- yeah,
Tetris.
Excuse me.
It's Tetris where everything works to the music.
Go on.
So they falling
Go on, get
in
points.
beat.
Well, it's more it's like the beat happens in the game, and the speed of the game would, in parts, determine how the song went.
Right.
But every time you flipped to a block,
Flip the
moved it
table.
across the lanes and dropped it and stuff like that, they'd have their own sound effects, so it would make songs
Yeah.
as you're playing. Ooh, reserved.
You need 2 points and you can win.
That's not happening at the moment. So yeah, so it all drops to the beat. It's quite challenging because it's not like normal Tetris where it just gets faster as it goes along. It, based on the song, it could start off at speed 1, so it's not even they're not even dropping on the screen. But then you'll clear a third of the lines that you need to complete the level, and then it'll speed up suddenly. So it'll go from 1 to 7, but it's sort of the idea. It's all this, what they call it, synesthesia or whatever it is. It's this idea of being able to simulate feeling colour through or like sound and stuff like that. So yeah, relatively fun.
What were you laughing at?
Well,
You started giggling. Which
Was it
happens
because
in
my
ours.
hand's describing stuff by any chance? Because I kind of do that.
no.
You
It's
started doing
completely-
that and I started doodling. So he's either laughing at you or my doodle.
Yeah.
It's nothing. No.
Or he's laughing at me because I'm
No,
doodling while you're trying to
literally,
explain
I
something.
think I'm laughing because I know I won at this point.
But have you? But have you really? Have you really? I'm not even trying to win, so.
Yeah, because I reckon I probably could have got gems to win here and didn't.
Yeah, there's already. At some point in the game, kind of stop picking up the gems. We just play the cards, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got 2 years. I've got 2 years. Mainly because of the fact that I could keep chaining stuff like that. But
Yeah.
no, at that point, picking up the gems, particularly if I picked up. Yeah. No. What did
It
I
depends.
just pick up? No, I picked up a
How
block.
much is that one costing?
Oh, you will say.
No. No, I've made my mistake. I'll go. Keep going. Sure, go, Steph. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of like different modes on it and all, and you can.
What kind of mods you can have in Tetris, literally?
There's a mode in it called Mystery,
Well,
where you play a game like normal. You try and beat your 150 lines, so 10 lines on each speed as you do, but it changes how the game plays every few times you drop the blocks. So you could play it, and then the screen would flip upside down,
no, okay.
or it drops a giant block, or a giant version of the block. So you got your normal like your T block. Imagine if it was 10 times the size and just dropped on the screen instead. Or you drop blocks of 3 instead of blocks of 4
Right.
in different positions. So there's that. There's the chill out mode. So the idea is that the music's more of the focus rather than the Tetris itself. Mainly to the point that the Tetris game is on a tiny screen and there's a whole bunch of visual effects on like the other 2/3 of the screen. So yeah,
So you're still playing the old handheld Tetris.
yeah. But think of it now, you're playing it where there's an aquarium around the screen
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So it's your go, by the way, Stefan.
Oh, I know it's my turn. I was waiting for you to finish talking.
Oh,
while I
we're
was
on the
also
podcast.
while I was also finishing doodling. So.
Yeah, well, so you can't talk about multitasking like that, but yeah, no, so
Let me doodle
Yeah.
in peace, women.
oh, Remy. Yeah, no, so that's it. I mean, there's nothing more that can be said. It's Tetris, but it's with music, and I am a big sucker for rhythm games and music as being a focus of it. It's a game for me isn't just you can blow the heads off people. Yeah, that's what makes it entertaining. No, it's like
That's
sound,
what you've been doing.
design, purpose, something that's not just the game works for me. It's funny watching an argument on Eurogamer of someone that's like, the big argument is that Eurogamer don't do review scores. They either say it's a game, they say it's a game that they recommend, or they say it's a game that's essential. So Red Dead Redemption 2 was a recommended game. You know? Yeah,
There's
you'll
no
like
such
it.
thing as an essential game.
Yes, there is. Its name's Tetris Effect.
No, it's not essential.
And that's what caused...
No, the essential games are like the games for every kind of gamer
Yeah.
which you have to play.
Yeah,
One of them I would call a Bastion.
yeah. That's an
never
essential
played
game.
it.
Everyone
That's
should...
every should one
Yeah,
play.
and that's
Never
the
played
thing.
it.
You
I'm
should.
still alive. I'm good. It's
And
not.
this
It's
was
not
what someone's
additional to my
argument
life.
was though. It's like Tetris is a game from the 1980s. Why is it an essential game? Why do gamers need to play it? It's like, mainly because a lot of how games were designed were based on this game by one Russian man during the Soviet Union whose license was owned by the Soviet Union until about 10 years ago, where he's finally getting paid because a guy named Hank Rogers has bought the license and now owns a place called the Tetris Company. So, yeah, it's important because it designed how games should work, fail states, challenges, stuff like that. Yep. This is Darius working through to
Me winning.
winning the game.
Just because you brought up the game, you've lost the game as well at the exact same point.
Oh,
Have fun.
thank you very much. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so
I've
we've
got 17 points out of 15.
yep, you got 17 out of 15.
So can you beat me? Can you beat me?
I would say, had I made the correct move, no.
You will have, I think, literally pick up the 5, isn't it? The card worth 5 points.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have the... no, I don't have what's needed for it anyway.
If you could pick up 5, you could have 18.
Yeah.
You see, yeah, my thing was here, I could have forced... I had 13 points. I'm going to say no, I can't do anything. So I mean, what I'm going to do, just pick up a couple of gems just for the sake of it, just for
Yeah.
purpose.
Well, we can extend it to 21 points.
No, it's fine. It's good. Like I say, I know.
He tries this a lot.
Yeah, no, I don't do that. I stopped that when I was doing when my mum would let me lend money from the bank in Monopoly. I've stopped. So, yeah. But Steph,
Yeah.
you'll go.
Oh, it's my go.
Yeah, I'm done talking about Tetris Effect now.
Oh no, I wasn't worried about the conversation. I didn't know it was my turn.
Oh yeah. Argument about people at Eurogamer. Someone's like saying, why was Red Dead only recommended and Tetris
Yeah, but
essential?
still, I would go back to the Tetris. What was the price for it? 35?
The price, I got it on PS4, it was 30, 31.
31.
Yeah.
So still, paying 30 quid to play a Tetris game.
I understand, but what I feel is that I'm playing a music. I've got a concept album, and this is very hipstery of me, but I've got a concept album and a visual background that just happens to have Tetris as its
hold on a
mechanic.
minute.
Right.
You're complaining him at buying a game that's 30 quid, and how many board games have you bought that have been how many times done over?
Well, yes, fair enough, but...
Which you could buy easily cheaper
Well, board games cheaper.
than the more modern, updated version of it, yes. If you bought an older version of it at a certain point, it would have been cheaper than saying it was a vintage game to a thing.
Oh, you mean like, for example, Brass?
Hmm.
Yeah, the Brass is like a game which was produced like, what, 10 years ago. And, yeah, instead of having like... It's basically, yes, you paid for the upgrade. But before the campaign, I didn't hear about the Brass. And still paying 40-50 quid for a board game which have a lot of replayability.
Oh, I can't win anyway, so what am I going to buy?
So,
I'll buy nothing.
So, just as a distraction, I concede my loss to you on this, but I could have won that game. If we roll this back.
Yeah,
So
if
I
you were
took
back
that.
on 2 turns.
Yeah, so we do that. You had whatever.
Yeah.
All I needed to do.
Let's pick this two. And then buy
And then
the red one.
By the, yeah. Well, actually, I don't know if it may have won, but I may have got over the 15 as well.
I think
How many
only
points did you have?
17.
You would have needed 5.
No, I didn't have 17.
No.
17. Yeah, 17.
Yeah, you had 17
You
at the end of
needed
it.
5.
I was at 13.
Yeah, so you needed 5 to outbe his score.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless you wanted
Well,
to
but-
have.
but I
would
would've-
if you take that before me,
That's the thing. I never reserved as well, so that's.
Oh, don't worry, he
that
didn't
would've-
tell me about reserving until like fucking 2 games in.
Oh, it's not. No, it's not that I didn't know about it. It's just I didn't use it.
it's the kind which I made a comment. Good luck buying it. Until now, turns out I'll put it.
You had the good luck to buy it. Yeah. But this was the main argument that I had. It was like, maybe we probably don't have as much
I don't think it's
news on this
essential
one.
though.
Yeah. Well, no. This is the thing. It's essential. It was
I will
considered.
not say that version is essential. Playing the Tetris general is essential.
Yeah. Tetris as a thing.
Yeah, Tetris.
Stuff like that.
Everyone must play
But-
Pong at some
But
point in their
there's
life.
just this constant
If you've not
thing
played
with
Pong, you've
there's
not
this constant
played
thing with
the game.
games fans that Rockstar, for example, can do no wrong.
No, Rockstar can mess up a lot.
Well, this is the thing that they've got. It was like, no, Red Dead is better than Tetris, and this is the reason that they suggested is because it's a Rockstar game.
Hell no.
That's it.
That's
I would-
not the
I'd
argument.
argue.
I would argue on that one of saying back
If
to
someone
them.
turned around to me and said that was the argument, I would argue back.
Yeah, the argument
But
I would
if
go back
that
on
wasn't
that was.
the argument, I would probably sit there and just go, you don't have to play
But
Tetris.
this was the thing. It was like
It's
name
like saying you have to play Pac-Man.
name. Now, I usually go on this idea that graphics in a game shouldn't make sense. It's purely the gameplay that makes a point.
Yes.
It's
And
a
this is the
story
thing that I
or
wanted
the-
to say to
yeah.
him on this is, what makes Red Dead an essential game, and don't mention the word graphics.
Story.
I can't say that yet.
If it's anything like
this
number
is
one,
the
it'll
thing.
be the story. Red Dead is
It has
very
the
story
potential.
based.
Yeah.
It's very story based, drawn forward, single player game.
It's also,
If it's anything like number one.
it's janky and stuff like that, but this person was just like, no, because it looks nice and it's a Rockstar game, therefore it must be better than every other game. No, it's like, no, because if the gameplay is crap or derivative, which you were mentioning earlier on, that it's basically Grand Theft Auto in cowboy pants.
Reskinned.
And the other problem that I got is that it's a big open world game, and the problem that we're getting with open world games now is it's padded out with collectibles and side quests and stuff like that.
No, so
and,
I was
and they're
side
the-
quests are fine, but collecting every single bit of God knows what.
But yeah, the thing I've got on that is that when you distill all that, when you remove all that, what's actually there?
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, the core gameplay loop is what's meant to get you in there, but you're not able to do the core gameplay loop because you've got to sit there and faff around and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm a collectible sort of person.
You
so-
prefer to collect the game for
Yeah.
100%, regardless, isn't
yeah,
it?
but that all
He's
that
the
does,
one who likes to be nosy in every
but all that
nook
does-
and cranny you've got in a game.
but all that does, it makes a game good. Doesn't make it essential.
No,
Yeah.
no game is essential.
And so, to me,
The essential games, Pong,
yes,
that is an essential game.
yeah, because
I do
that was basically
borderline
the base. That
is the base of all games.
Yeah.
Pong is the 100% essential. After that, you can branch off whichever direction you want from Tetris, Pac-Man.
Oh, there was one more game, Asteroids.
Asteroids or Space Invaders.
Yeah.
That's where it goes from Pong.
Yeah.
It goes from Pong, and then it's going to Tetris, Pac-Man, or Space Invaders.
Keep in mind, this is only on own opinion. This is not proven
Yeah.
study.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not a proven study.
But
Cause
this is the way I say it. Pong
We're
is
just-
definitely a game that everyone must play. Someone had to play it. Everyone's played Pong.
yeah,
Unless you're the newest
Even
generation ever.
just what the hell is that game from the 80s?
yeah.
I don't.
that's the thing,
There's
is
still
that
a lot of
it's-
people that haven't played it.
it's also
but
this thing about-
played things like Mario Tennis, and it's like, well, that's Pong.
Yeah,
You play Mario Tennis is Pong.
it's turning. This is the problem that we're getting. It's
It's just
turning.
now
It's
it's
turning gaming
third
culture
person.
into a disposable medium as opposed to. Everything is disposable in games now, as opposed to
Are
long
we
lasting
restarting
stuff
this,
like
or
that.
are we just kind of ending this now? I
probably
mean,
end
game-wise, not podcast.
Probably that. No, it works. I think. I mean, we're at like 5:15 now anyway, so like, being here for being here over 3 hours.
Been here for a year, and I've still not grown an age.
3 hours. I'm here scrolling my last notes to my family.
I'm still writing my will and testament.
Unfortunately, it's just still too nice to be. Yeah, it's like. But yeah.
On
So
a short note, just saying that you have to play this game because it's a
Yeah.
Rocksteady game. Is
yeah.
Boom.
The other thing on that is, yeah, there
It's
are
not a
more.
good point.
There are more reasons a game could be considered, massively good, other than it's got some shiny graphics and microtransactions.
Have
You know.
Red Redemption got micro? I don't think it has.
Probably doesn't. I mean, sort of games as a whole.
I'm just asking as a general question. Has it got any?
I have not noticed any.
You might have some for the online part of it, because it'll be like GTA.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Rockstar is very
Yeah.
particular in having you have it.
So
It's
have
very
they,
online based. But I'm assuming have they done the same thing they did with GTA? They've kept the online offline
for
for
now,
like
and then
about a
they'll
week or two until
yeah.
everyone's played it.
probably, and then they'll
so
they'll
far I've
launch the
not
components,
noticed.
won't they? But yeah, so that's a load of games that we've been talking about, and that's nearly 45 minutes, along with
For half an hour.
Along
this
with-
is the
along with
longest.
bits of-
This is the longest podcast we'd have actually done.
yeah, it's the longest podcast that we've actually done that's not,
Not essentially a podcast.
yeah, not essentially a podcast, more of a table discussion while we've also talked podcasty stuff. That was
I like this layout though. I prefer this to the way we've been doing it.
yeah, it's just a case of trying to get people to make it all the time, which is why doing it remotely was
yeah, it's
It
much
is-
more
is a
convenient.
Convenient. Thing.
yeah. We're going on convenience first. I mean, more things like this would
Even if
think
it's not
the-
to do a podcast, it do other chat and
yeah. So it's a thing. Like I say, this week's been a different one. There was a couple of pieces of news. Sony used an open source emulator, so do other places for PlayStation
leaks for
Classic.
PlayStation
Yeah.
5s.
That's for me. It kind of sounds really odd. How the multi-million company to
Using
run their own games have to use a third-party free
yeah.
software.
Yeah, I mean that comes back to disposable nature now, though, doesn't it? Where it's like even games companies are not even continuing, or don't even have their own stuff
then-
that they use to make them famous in the first place.
But then there's things of they're saving money doing that.
Well, the thing is, they still licensed it legitimately and stuff, so they'll have paid for licenses and stuff like that.
Yeah, but they're still saving on money.
Yeah, because they don't have developed the software.
Yeah.
I do understand that
They
they're
don't
saving
have to
the
pay
money.
this extra staff. It's like saying, my place at the minute, we've cut down on staff by giving them more work.
Yeah.
So we've cut down, let's say we have 10 people a day, we've gave them an extra 50% work, cut it down to 5. Even though we're having, let's say, agencies or another company do that other 5,
Yeah.
we're still saving money because we're still not paying off another 5 other people. Might not be as much as what they want, but you'll still be paying less overall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
basically
at the end
by
of the day,
increasing-
Sony still spends less money.
Yes, that's definitely the case. However, do they should do it?
Yeah.
It's like a moral concern to me.
Yeah, I mean, especially, I don't know whether they should do it. I mean, I guess I can see where they've done it on a business standpoint,
Yes, definitely.
and that makes
Well,
it worth it.
I'd like to also point out,
The thing
I'm
is, if
not
they-
a Sony fanboy. I seem to defend them every time
Yeah.
we bring up a
Well,
Sony thing.
Well, it's something I won't defend. The crap games that they put on the PlayStation Classic. Take
I don't know
the-
what's on it, so...
well, Metal Gear Solid is a big one. Final Fantasy VII,
Alright.
or one of them. But then other than that, there's not much.
Not much
There's
of kind
Shokugan,
of
something like that.
regular player would know.
Mr. Driller.
What's Mr. Driller?
It's an arcade game about a guy called Mr. Driller. It's like a superhero who,
I assume it's about drilling.
yeah, you do. You drill blocks down the ground and
Higher with Takiaki.
try and get to the centre of the earth to defeat a bad guy.
What are you laughing at?
I don't want to do all the Sony bashing. I mean, they're in an issue regarding tax in Chicago as well, but
That kind of involves Sony as well.
yeah, that's what I mean. I said I don't want to bash on Sony, but
Yeah, well, the story with the Chicago and the tax is in Chicago they kind of, as a state, I think it is.
yeah,
They add like amusement tax.
an amusement tax.
Amusement tax.
We tax on your fun.
However, it's only tied to cloud-based things.
Right.
So we're talking here about all like Sony Now, PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Also, it involves services like Netflix
Right. Okay.
and Spotify. Mainly why I'm naming these three is so PlayStation, Netflix, and Spotify is because Spotify and Netflix sue the government for that tax. However, Sony straight away basically said, yeah, fine, no problem, we will implement it to our prices.
No.
The other thing there is, again,
And
they're
this is-
saving money.
That shows me like customer and end user, the end user. Who cares about the end user, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because that's the point
That's the
for
person
the
who's getting-
end user
yeah, that's
to
the person
pay
who's
that
getting taxed.
extra 9% for every purchase.
Yeah.
Which at the end of the year, that's kind of quite a lot.
Yeah.
Still depends how hardcore gamer or service receiver you are.
Yeah.
So imagine Amazon Prime.
God, Twitch maybe.
Yeah, everything online. Twitch, YouTube Premium.
Yeah.
All this cloud services combined, which you can have, and you can even pay, let's say, even $100. Let's say.
Yeah.
So you will be paying $109 a month. At the end of the year, that's a free month on the services.
Yeah. It's just like, why? Why? It's just not. No. Chicago, get your act together.
However, I have a good side of it.
Okay.
It's kind of abstract, right? But imagine people completely addicted to games. Don't so to push them away from it. That's fine. However, to rectify it between hardcore gamers and kind of casual gamers is, for example, give them like tax relief.
Yeah.
So for casual gamers, if they are below $500 a year, let's say, it's kind of abstract price, isn't it? Below $500 a year, you can get them back. If you spend more than that, you will have to pay extra tax because you're addicted. You have to compensate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Just a sort of like, I can get where that's like sort of a it's like a dissuasion tactic, really.
Yeah.
It's just like,
But still,
Chicago.
and the end story is why we should pay more for entertainment. That's the end story.
Yeah, I think we discussed this last week pretty much with. It was discussed last week with Duncan. On last week's one, we were talking about like, sort of game publishers using the excuse of it's an expensive business for nickel and diamond people with microtransactions and stuff like that. This is slightly a little bit different because it's not publishers that are being affected; it's services.
Yes.
And this is a sort of government taxes instead. So, all concerned, the only way to solve that is government to get your act together. Just, there's got to be better ways of taxation that's not just driving at the one release from the harsh real world that people get. But, if it apparently stops people being addicted to games, that's something else.
It's not necessarily addiction, but it's kind of like...
Yeah, I can see where you come from. It's like,
there should be like kind of limit which you're spending. For example, in one of the North countries, I'm not entirely sure which one, you're literally, to buy alcohol, they're scanning your ID, and you are only limited to buy X amount a year.
Yeah, it's like bits of control that shouldn't really. It's like
that's good control. You're still buying enough alcohol to get pissed once a week.
Yeah.
But they don't have any problem with alcoholism.
Then you're not sat there in, at least like you're not sat in A&E every night because you've got absolutely plastered.
Yes, but then that still goes against your human rights.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's plenty of stuff for health and safety, but human rights will override anything from shit like that.
Yeah, well, it's rights and responsibilities though, isn't it? You have the right to get shit-faced.
Yeah.
You have the right,
but you have the responsibility to make sure you don't harm anyone while doing it. So I'm all for everyone enjoying themselves and stuff like that. But I've been lurched on by many zombie drunks enough times to just it's like no, I don't want to play. So that went from game discussion to the dangers of alcoholism. The more you know. So I'd say we'll wrap that up.
On the last note, happy 100 years of independence to Poland.
Yes.
That's.
I
I'd like
didn't
to point
mention.
out I've got that on
So
Rainbow Six.
100
I
years of
actually completed that
independence. There's
achievement.
also
Bugger you are.
This was recorded on November the 11th, Remembrance Day.
September the 92.
Be
1982.
Be like the rest of the world and recognise the sacrifice of soldiers. Don't be Donald Trump, who didn't go to a war memorial because it was raining.
Sounds a good excuse to me, though.
And that's it. Thank you, everyone.
And on that note,
See you next week.
like you, share, subscribe, don't kill each other. Goodbye.
Kill each other, please.
Jesus Christ, Steph. No.